Hello, it's Perry Peacock with Wilderness Innovation. I'm up here on a little overnight. Going to spend a little time showing you how to use another couple components out of the off-road survival kit that I got right here in my shoulder carry. Going to sleep through the night. I'm going to build me a little shelter here. I'm going to use the space blanket. I did a previous video on just the space blanket by itself with a little reflector fire. Tonight I'm going to build a small debris hut. I don't know how much I'll get done. Eventually I'm going to get this all done to the point where it'll be ready for wintertime use. So when the snow gets deep up here and all that,
I took my
have a place to
Swiss Army that's included in the survival kit, and I'll give you a shot here. It's got the saw on it. That saw blade's about 3.5 inches long. It's a pretty aggressive saw blade, and it took a few minutes, but I sawed most of the way through the trunk down here. I sawed most of the way through the trunk right here. Pull some of this out of the way. I had to saw a little from both sides and everything to get it, but once I got enough, I just pulled on it and kind of snapped it, because I want this thing to lay down a little bit lower here. And let me show you what else I did over here to try to quicken things up a little bit. Down in here, a lot of these are just some brush that are just still growing in the ground down here in the perimeter of my hut. So what I did is now you can see I've got a lot more cover on the shelter. Right now at this point, just gathering up all this debris off the ground. Small sticks and leaves and everything. I'm just piling it on top of here. Now ultimately, for getting it ready for wintertime use, I'm going to try to have this stuff about 3 or 4 feet thick on the roof. Now for gathering up leaves and stuff, if you can get a few sticks or something like this and just kind of hold them together. So you can get back in here and start raking you up some good piles of leaves. Alright, now you don't have to try to hand carry all the leaves to your shelter. Now just use your makeshift broom here and just start sweeping your pile. And I've laid out the space blanket. The blanket's pretty light, so I laid just a little stick across the front so it doesn't blow away till I get some stuff on it. Then once you got a blanket full, you just pull up the 4 corners like this and make like Santa Claus and haul it off and dump it at your shelter. Alright, I'm going to have to probably about call it quits here. I'm going to have to get my fire going. But I'm going to rake this last little bit up in here. I kind of fan this out just a little bit. Make the best rake I can. Alright, so I've got my part of my shelter done. I'll have to finish it up tomorrow or whatever. But I just plan on using my space blanket and burrowing back in these leaves for tonight. Kind of sandwich myself into them. Just crawl right back in there, and that's how I'm going to sleep tonight. And once I get a fire going, I think I'll have enough light. I'll be able to film a little bit when I'm getting into bed. But one other thing to consider is, you know, building one of these kind of shelters is labor intensive. It takes, you know, many hours to build one. So, you know, you got to consider your situation, and, you know, maybe it's not worth taking the effort, you know, to build one. To just work my way up into here. Well, it's it's Saturday morning here. I made it through the night in my kind of unfinished debris hut. It turned out pretty nice. If I were to do it again, I think I'd put probably about twice as many leaves inside here. Now it's I've kind of got them a little more spread out than what they were during the night, but it turned out pretty well. I just kind of wrapped up in this space blanket here, and then I burrowed back into that pile of leaves that I had in here. During the night it started raining some, and it wound up raining really most of the night. But it turned out pretty good. The debris hut shed a lot of the water. Some of it still ran in here, but most of these leaves that are in here wound up staying dry through the night, so, you know, that's not too bad. I was amazed by how warm it felt during the night as it kind of cooled off and everything. I found myself, I kind of burrowed myself more back into the leaves even more, and just totally burrowed down into them, and it was actually pretty decent. It's pretty comfortable to lay in them, and they were pretty warm. So I think other than the fact that I would probably put more leaves in here to burrow into, I think that would be a little bit better, especially if it got a little colder. It only got it got down into the low 40s here during the night. So, I mean, that's not too bad with just what I've got on in my blanket and these leaves, and my space blanket here and these leaves. So anyway, I think it's pretty successful, and I'm gonna continue when I maybe today or when I come up again, work on this debris hut some more and kind of add a little bit more to it. But anyway, that's my report on the debris hut. It works pretty darn well. So